In the third Pierce Brosnan Bond movie, I have to wonder if we're taking a step forwards or a step backwards. There's definitely some elements of the golden age of Bond here for Sean Connery or Roger Moore. There's the action sequences, the villain with the scar over his eye, the femme fatale and the good Bond girl. Not always great and golden back then. However, in some ways we're taking a step forward, certainly with the classic look of the wardrobe for Pierce Brosnan, sticking with Brioni but making some changes. And if you haven't seen my previous Pierce Brosnan reviews, you can check out GoldenEye here and Tomorrow Never Dies here. The brand Brioni are a renowned Italian maker of fine suits with excellent fabrics. Also, I discuss why they are so suitable for James Bond, while although being Italian, they have something of a British cut to them with structured shoulders and narrowing waist. And in this movie, Hemming continues to be the clothing designer, and while sticking with Brioni, she has decided to loosen the style up a little bit and keep it simple. They looked around them at the time and saw that other movies were getting very fashionable with Hugo Boss and Armani suits. They very much decided not to follow that trend and to go for a classical look, but loosen it up a little bit, as we shall see throughout the movie. Although it looks very dark in the movie, this is actually a charcoal grey worsted wool suit and not a black suit. As I said many times, a black suit is not the best choice, as it is quite tricky to style and extremely limiting, and associated with the intern in any company when accompanied with a white shirt and a black tie. So whether wearing a charcoal grey suit or a black suit, the blue shirt is a much better choice to wear, as a lower contrast is easier on the eye and takes some emphasis away from the suit itself. The shirt has French cuffs with rather large cufflinks and a large classic collar, perfect for the points to fit underneath the jacket as they should according to the rules of classic style. And of course he's sporting an Omega watch. Hi, I'm Michael and welcome to my channel for the love of suits. If you're new here, we try to find inspiration on how to dress well from the best dressed men on the screen. Drop a new video every Wednesday and shorts throughout the week. With the suit, Bond has a dark brown necktie, a slightly unusual choice of colour, one that works very well. Blue and brown always work well together. The only fault I find in the suit is the sparkling belt buckle, which is quite distracting. As with all the Bond Brioni suits for Pierce Brosnan, it's a 3-button suit. This is considered rather old-fashioned, but I think still looks good and works well particularly with tall gentlemen, and Pierce Brosnan is certainly taller than average. However, they are a little tricky to find off the rack these days, as the standard is 2 buttons. Back at Spy HQ, James has changed into something a little more refined, although sticking with charcoal grey, an excellent and extremely flexible choice of suit colour. The suit has a blue pinstripe. It's a 3-piece notched lapel suit, still with 3 buttons on the jacket, paired with a white shirt and a distinctive necktie, with a geometric pattern in red, silver and gold on a black background. A key feature of every suit jacket is of course the lapels, and getting the size right for your shoulders is very important. Brosnan is not only tall but quite broad-shouldered, and these wide lapels suit him perfectly. And this beautiful suit is nearly ruined by an explosion that blows out the side of MI6, which is a prophetic scene. Offhand, I cannot recall Bond ever having worn a windowpane suit before, despite being a classic British fabric. Here Bond wears another very dark charcoal 2-piece suit with notched lapels. It's cut from a tweed fabric woven from Cheviot wool and a blue windowpane pattern. Cheviot wool, like other specialised wools, gets its name from a sheep and a region. In this case, it's a region between the border of England and Scotland. He has paired it with a white shirt and black textured necktie. If it wasn't for the necktie, I might actually think this is a black suit. So I believe if you have a sophisticated wardrobe and you do not want to buy a black suit, it's an excellent idea to consider an unusual fabric like cashmere, linen or tweed to make it outstanding. And as I've mentioned in previous reviews, Brosnan wears a classic length of jacket. One of the trends I absolutely hated the most was the short jacket trend of a few years back. It threw everything out of balance and looked quite ridiculous on a man of any height. Thankfully it seems to be past, although I'm sure it will return again in a decade or so when fashion labels need you to start buying new suits again for no good reason other than to line their pockets. If you're enjoying this video so far, then please hit that like button, or better yet, subscribe and hit the notifications bell. It really helps the channel. And please check out the comments section, we have a great community there. Finally, Bond is brightening things up a little bit with a light grey suit. Bond is wearing a 2-piece suit, notched lapel, cut from a beautifully threaded textured fabric, paired again with a clean white shirt, which nicely matches the grey suit much better than it would a black suit, and a slightly quirky purple necktie. However, this is not the first time Bond has worn purple, and it suits him well. In this scene we can see his trousers clearly, and he's gone for a full cut rather than slim cut trousers, as you would expect, and what appears to be a full break. A break is how much excess fabric folds over on your shoe at the bottom of the trouser. A full break equals 1 full bend in the fabric. If you have more than that, then your trousers are far too long and need to be tailored. You can get away with this with jeans, but it should be shortened to the maximum length of one full break and no longer. And it's nice to see they did not skip the casino tux combo in this movie. As with many of Bond's tuxedos, he has gone for a classic midnight blue fabric rather than the black. And the bow tie is a satisfying full-size, classically cut bow tie rather than the slim variety. And luckily, he's dressed to the nines as he runs into the femme fatale of the movie, Jessica Rabbit. And later we see Bond once again pull off the look and the bow tie, while wearing a tux with an open neck collar. Pierce Brosnan is not the only actor to do this. Daniel Craig also pulled this look off very well. If you are going to relax at the end of a black tie evening, like both of these actors, probably best to remove the bow tie completely rather than leave it hanging around your neck, as it looks messy and does not have the same effect as a loosened necktie. And after bumping into the second Bond girl of the movie, Lara Croft, Bond heads back to England to track down Jessica Rabbit, who has turned out to be the true villain of the movie. Don't complain about the spoiler, this movie is 25 years old. If you haven't watched it already, you're probably not going to. And it's nice to see Bond well dressed right to the finale of this movie. Most espionage movies have the protagonist change into action gear for the second half of the movie. A beige linen suit is a superior choice for a warm climate, and the colour beige can be matched with many different shirts to give a very different feeling. It's an extremely flexible jacket or suit to wear. Here 007 wears it with a strong blue shirt, but it goes equally well with white, pink, light blue, or even brown or beige shirt. And if you're not comfortable with linen as a fabric, very similar suits can be bought with blended fabrics of wool, silk and linen together. They will crease a lot less than the linen suit, but still give you that textured look. This time he has a much more suitable belt for a suit, and a normal latch buckle. Despite the temptation to get an interesting buckle on your belt, unless you're dressed up as a cowboy, it is not suitable as it draws too much attention to that area of your body. I have two linen suits in my collection, a pure linen grey suit and a linen blend blue suit. I love the look of linen, I love the way it feels, it has a very casual look, but it creases. I like the creases, they're definitely part of the character of the fabric. However, I know very well that a lot of people do not like the look of the creasing on linen. Where do you stand on this? Yes or no for linen? Let me know in the comments below as usual. Thank you for watching to the end, I really appreciate it, and I'll see you next Wednesday with a new video.